Hi, my name's Holly Berger of lightworkersalliance.com. Thanks for joining me to create a self-portrait, neuro art for self-love. If you'd like to learn more about neurographic techniques, see my other videos. It was a Sunday and I didn't plan on making a video. When the thought of drawing an energy portrait came to mind, I closed my eyes and thought of grounding and connecting to source. As I opened my eyes, I took the pic. I wanted to capture a moment of presence. You can use a light box or tape your printed pic to a window and trace. You only need an outline. Don't worry about fine details or if it looks like you. You can see here that I began to trace my pencil marks with a Sharpie. And I colored my eyes in because I felt like it just looked a little odd with the white eyes. So you don't have to do that. Just use brief outlines. Again, don't worry about if it looks like you. This is an energy drawing, and a lot of those markings will be covered up by the time we're done. I've got very curly hair, and it's kind of weird to draw. So if you have straight hair, it'll be easier. Just keep putting in details without getting too worried about exactly what it looks like. I erased all the extra lines from pencil marks, and then I put away my drawing. Here you can see that I'm adding some lines that look like they go in odd directions. These are neurographic lines. And I'm just taking those in any direction that I feel like they want to go. I'm not worrying too much about if the drawing looks like me, if it looks like my hair. I'm just connecting lines. And here you can see I'm doing something called rounding or conjoining. Again, you'll have to check my other videos to see how to do that. It's an important thing to do because it breaks up the energy patterns of any neurographic drawing. So I'm working a little bit with what I know is there, which is curly hair, and a lot with the energy that wants to move out. Those lines that are moving out are connecting the energy of me with my environment. You can see there's a border around the page. When I do neurographic art, I think of this border as the frame of a snapshot. So this is a snapshot of a moment in time, an energetic moment. I often think about things I want to clear, heal, or release. Things that I want to connect to, positive things. Before you start, you can make a list of words, maybe elements about yourself that you'd like to enhance. And if there's something you'd like to clear, there are other techniques for that I've discussed in other drawings. In this one in particular, I was thinking about enhancing my attributes. Self-love, things that I like about myself. Neurographic art is very interesting because it shifts energy. I'm energy sensitive, and I remember thinking that I could feel things moving, releasing, healing. Neuro art works with the neuroplasticity of your brain. It's really fun to work with. If you're doing your own drawing now, sometimes you'll want to switch pens, go to something smaller, especially if you're making lines across your face. And I encourage you to connect everything you want to connect. Connect your nose, your eyes, your mouth. Work with anything that you think needs connection. Connection to the environment. Bringing those lines across the page and let them move in the direction they want to move in. It's a very meditative, flowing technique. It took me about an hour to do this drawing. Generally, I would make all of my neuro lines and then do the rounding or conjoining. But in this drawing, I didn't. I made the lines and kept them moving. I kept them moving and conjoining. More erasing of pencil marks. And there I am testing some colors. I did want to go with some natural skin tones in the beginning. I don't always do that. Sometimes I just go radical. Orange and purple skin, whatever I want to do. But in this case, I decided to go a little more realistic. When you're working with neurographic art, always do at least 2 sections in the color you're working on. This is a little bit of a stretch when it comes to the rules of neurographic art because it's more of a portrait or a realistic subject. When you're working with abstract art, it's easier to stick to the rules. Sometimes I feel energy and I write things on the page. On the left, I wrote release worry. On the right, I wrote freedom. And eventually, across the top, I'm going to write, my shadows revealed are empowerment. My shadows revealed are empowerment. My hair isn't blue or purple. That's artistic license. When you're doing neurographic art, pay attention to your body. If anything is hurting, aching, nervous, feeling twitchy, I always make a note. I usually write on the back of my drawing, but you can also start a journal just for neurographic art. And pay attention to what happens if you do this. Sometimes you'll notice that the same thing happens every time you work on certain things. And it's important to make note of those things so you can heal them. Like I said, this took about an hour. So I wasn't rushing, I wasn't hurrying. This video, I think, is 4 times the speed. And I'm breaking up sections now where I feel that the energy's not moving enough. And I don't know if you can tell, but that's a purple pen. I usually use black, but I've switched to purple, so I wanted probably a lighter energy. And this is called a field line. Field lines are placed where you see energy moving through a neurographic piece of art. Most of the time, your field lines won't cross at a 90-degree angle, but you'll see here that that's exactly what mine do. So that's a little bit of a breaking of a rule, but sometimes you just feel something, and I just went with it. I think of field lines like rivers, like the Mississippi River, with the tributaries, creeks, and streams flowing into it. The field lines release energy from your drawing. And after you do field lines, you can choose to do an emphasis. Usually I do a circle somewhere on the drawing. This time I chose to emphasize my face and part of my hair. And you'll see that in the next shot. Your signature is a sign of completion and an energetic timestamp. If you drew a snapshot of your personal moment in time, it needs to be examined as what was, almost as soon as it gives you its gifts. Self-portraits are treasure maps with encoded messages. Try doing one a month, always using a picture that you just took. Use your collection to examine your growth. And remember, your subconscious is working for you and with you. Love it and listen for its messages. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to see your drawings and hear your comments. May you be blessed on your spiritual road.